Hi and welcome everyone to today's presentation of Eurocon. My name is Stefan Knutsson. I'm an equity analyst here at ABG and I follow the service sector and the company as well. And with me today I have the CEO Peter Johansson. Welcome Peter.
Thank you.
And you can go ahead giving us your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Eurocon is a company with a group of companies with high competence and brands, of course. We have one site-based company which are then supporting a software which are quite good for us because it's going out that we are doing more efficient work in the engineering phase. And we have just connected that together with Symmetry as an agreement, a partner agreement together with them, because they are a big company on the IT business for our customers as well. So that's quite good for us, especially for the site-based company. Next. Yeah, we are working mainly in the forest industry, chemistry industry, and mining and steel and energy. We also have a small part of infrastructure and IT. IT is the company site-based, as I told you about. With the pulp and paper, we are doing a lot of pulp mills, several of them in Sweden last couple of years, and we are also into a huge pulp mill and packaging machine up at SCA Umeå today. And we have several services. We do everything around pre-studies. We do also engineering for the whole phase of the project and afterwards and all these things in all these kind of branches that we are working in. We have been listed at Spotlight since 2007 and had a great growth all the way up here until now. We had a small dip during the pandemic, but we are over that. We can take next then. We are technology consultants. We are around 260 persons, employees, I will say today. We are reporting a little bit less, but we are still growing and we are hiring every day, and which is very good for us because it has been hard to grow by yourself and organically, but we have succeeded very well during the past year, 2021. So we are very happy with that. We have a flexible organization and involve resourcing from different offices from Kiruna up to down to Karlshamn in the south. And I mean, we have a quite long country here, even if we are a small country in the world. We can take the next picture. We have, of course, we have all these things together. The best thing with it for your people is that we have a we should increase our turnover by 10% every year, which is hard sometimes, but it has been very easy during this past year. We have earning in EBIT of 10%, which we almost are going to achieve this year, and we see that we have a quite good future here. We are back in business from 2 lousy years, I will say. We take the next picture also. Of course, we work with the sustainability. All the time, all projects we are involved in is sustainable projects, and we don't do anything else today. We are having active roles in research and involved through a company's commitments to RISE process them and the smaller ownership in more research still, which we have sold to RISE also. But we are still working quite close to them and in several startups. I can show you some later. So we take the next picture. So if you look at the year back, it's going to be some history from the beginning. You can see that we have a dip in 2020, which of course come from the pandemic, and we have a growing feeling for for the 2021, which we can show also in the quarterly report here, interim reports. We have done some changing during the pandemic as well in the company. We have changed the CEO in the site-based company. We have done some other things also around here, which have been that we have taken out a couple of employees. But we have also succeeded very good, as I told you, during 2021. So we continue with the next picture. Long history, profitability with a high diluted share. You can see by yourself here, it's quite good. We are still not happy about 2019 and 2020, but there were some problem during the pandemic, and especially in the start of the pandemic, which ended up in the end of 2020. We had some feeling that this should start up immediately again, so we started recruiting. I will say last quarter in 2020, which we succeeded very well in 2021, quarter one. We go to the next picture. If you look at the interim report that we sent out, we are quite happy to inform you about the increase of the sales. It's up to 202 million Swedish, not of course. Operational margin increased up to 8.6%. And we are quite happy with all these figures. As you can see here, we have a EBIT as 18.5. Last year was 11.6. Operational profit 17.5, 10.6 last year. And that shows that we have done a quite good quarters here, except for quarter one, which was a little bit lower. But we have seen a big increase on the market during the last two quarters, and we hope that will continue during the coming quarters. And we also have a diluted earning per share increasing quite good during the period, as you can see, from 31.31 to 0.18. You can take the next picture, which will show the report. We have an EBIT at 18.5, as I told you. We have an EBIT margin at 9.1. It's almost reaching the target we have, but it's still a way to go. And you know, everybody, that this branch and quarter four is quite, we cannot do so much in the quarter four. So I think we are not reaching all the way up to 10% margin, but we are going to be quite close, as I hope. So we find that as a good signal that we are on the right way and on the right track, and the business is also going quite good, and we have a lot of opportunities in the future. Yeah, we take the next picture. We have done some changes I told you about. We have just started up a company in Gothenburg, southwest of Sweden. And we have started with 10 new persons there on the mechanical side, which we are very happy with, because that's an edge that we didn't have on the special E3D software. And there are specialists all the way there. All of them are very good with the E3D, and they are project managers and project managers for mechanical construction. So we are very happy with that investment. And we have, of course, the rest of the group is intact from first. What you are missing probably is the Karlstad office, as it shows here. That's only site-based today. We had a small office there, which we have to close down during the pandemic. Yeah, we change picture. Our locations, as I heard before here, is from Kiruna, when we have a quite big office today. Kiruna, Luleå is around 35 persons, and it's a very hot spot. We can see that later. And we have persons down to Karlshamn, Kalmar, and Kristianstad. So we are working in whole Sweden today. We take the next picture. Now it's going to be a little bit more interesting. It's extremely lot of investments on its way up in the north part of Sweden, but of course there is also investment south, in South Sweden. But I'm focused on this one now because they are tremendously big. You can't even tell them about how much money they're going to spend up here. LKAB, for instance, are spending 20 million per year until 2040. That's extremely much money. SSAB is also investing a lot. H2 Green Steel, you have heard about that, maybe also 20 billions. SCA, SD1 are having a lot of projects on its way, hopefully. And you can see that it's coming. We are working very hard now to prepare for next step for SCA up in Obbola and also in Sundsvall mills. And there is new companies coming in there also. And Northvolt, they are building now in Skellefteå. We are not involved at the moment there, but we were involved in the beginning to help out with the pre-studies. Metze in Husum, quite north of Örnsköldsvik, where we have our head office. They are investing fully now, and we are still there. Rice, as I told you, they are also investing 350 million to make Örnsköldsvik as an innovation and bio company and bio raffinery center in Sweden, which of course we are going to work to get to work with them in. So we are quite happy, and we see that we have a lot to do in the future, hopefully. This is also depending on, of course, that we have the power in Sweden. We need a lot of power to make new module of processes. And then we also need a lot of manpower to support them. So we are looking forward to have a sustainable growth in the company. Also in the southern part, of course, but we see it's a lot of work coming up here in the north part. And you have probably heard of this, all of you already. But it's amazing. I never seen anything else, and I'm quite old in the business. So this is very exciting. Yeah, we take the next picture. Here you can see a little bit of what we are doing today. And you can recognize that we are working with Sea Green, for instance, which are today making material out of slugs from the industry to make sure that they can burn it in a boiler, which haven't been possible so far. We are also working with EcoHelix, which are bringing out chemicals from the recycled water and the water treatment system in the factories. We are working with the ST1 biorefinery in Gothenburg, which also is a partner of SDA for the next biorefinery in Sundsvall. So we look into a nice future up here also. You can put in questions afterwards, I hope. Then I'm going to show you some references, some big references we have done and some smaller, so we can take the next pictures. Östrand Mill is 4 years ago. It's a huge company and a new mill with producing a lot of pulp mill today. It was an investment for SCA at 8 billion Swedish crowns. And we have had a 3-year tremendous work together with them there with 50, 60 persons involved. And if you look at the figures, 8 billions, and then you can see what LKAB is saying about 20 million per year. This was 8 billion in 3 years. So we can easily compare how much people they're going to need up there. So that's very interesting. We can take the next then. Then we have LKAB coming up. Probably. Yes, there we have it. We have done a rebuild of the KK4 up in Kiruna, and that's a quite big job, of course. There we are working very close with LKAB. Of course, we have around 30 engineers up in the office in Kiruna, and we are the biggest consulting company in Kiruna. There is bigger other consultants in Sweden, but we are actually the biggest up in Kiruna. We can take the next. We have also done some wind power for SCA, and we do that also continuously. Yes, that's what I would like to say today, and then we can have some questions, I hope.
Yes, we will. Thank you, Peter, for presenting with us, and a very interesting discussion about the ongoing investments in the north part of Sweden. But I would like to first start with your recent performance. You mentioned that you were not as happy about 2019 and 2020. It seems that Eurocon has, reached a plateau if you look at historical numbers. But how confident are you that you can continue to grow the business going forward?
I see no reason why we have 2021 have been the best year of organic growth in the whole period I've seen here. Even if we were smaller, so we have done extremely well recruiting during 2021. And I'm very happy with that because we started in quarter 4 2020, which we saw that the market is probably coming now. And then we started very quickly and had been a great success for us this year.
And do you have any constraints in terms of how many new employees you can onboard for a year, for example?
Hopefully we can have a growth of organic growth of 10% next year. I hope we have done it this year. I'm quite certain on that. I haven't seen the figures yet, but there is a lot of opportunities and a lot of things happening on the market. So we see us continuously flow in with the new personnel, which we are quite happy with.
And you gave some examples of some of the green investments that you see coming up in Norrland. How are you positioned to grab as much of that business as possible?
Our size of company, I mean, it's a tremendous lot of projects up there, but we will be filled up if we have one of them for a couple of or two of them for a couple of years. And you can see there is a huge projects coming up there, which each project will go for around 3 to 5 years. And I mean, we haven't seen that as in many years in the industry in Sweden before. So we are back 10 to 15 years, for instance, when Kiruna had an extremely big investment around 15 to 20 billions over a couple of years. But there is so amazing a lot of money that they are planning to spend. But we still need these environmental things and everything like that have to be in position.
Yeah, that was my follow-up question. Do you see any risks about these investments being delayed? And also, you can extend that further because we have the election next year in Sweden. Is there some of the investments that are connected to a certain party winning the election?
I don't believe so, because which party in Sweden could say no to do those investments? I mean, this is for the total environmental of whole Sweden. So, I mean, this industry, these projects have to be done. Otherwise, we are losing everything they have promised in the big meeting now. So this is a must. I can see anything else happening. It could be 1 or 2 years delay, but every year, half a year, every month is a complete failure for the politician, as I see it.
Very good, Peter. And then I would like to follow up with some questions about site-based, which is a smaller part of your business that maybe don't get as much attention as the other part. Can you describe their offering a bit more and what you are doing to get the traction of that business again?
Yeah, we have found us a business partner with Symmetry, Adnodo, which is a well-known IT company in Europe and in the world. So we hope that they will sell and they will make the marketing much more efficient that we can do by ourselves. And also that they have a bigger confidence in the product. And Symmetry is very willing to that because it fits very good to their opportunities to sell to the customers also, which we have been including all the works, and we have communication between all Symmetry's products. So it fits very well into Symmetry's product portfolio.
So according to you, it has mostly been a problem with marketing and sales, not the product in itself.
Precisely. And we also have done some new for the maintenance cost and such things. We have been negotiating around the yearly commitments from us to all the customers we have today also. So we have done some quite big changes in the company structure during last year and beginning of this year, of course, the whole this year. So we hope that this will make SiteBase IT partner you can count on in the longer run.
Perfect. And then my last question would be to ask you what will be your maybe 3 key factors in order to have a successful 2020.
As I see it today, I see is that we continue as we have started this year, and we continue with the recruiting. We will see that we have done a great job in the mills today, and my feeling is that we have done so many good projects in the history. So both employees and new recruitments are coming from that they know that we have a good branch market, and they will see that it's a good working place to work with Eurocon. And then I hope that the politicians will make sure that we get the energy. We need energy in south to make sure that we can spend a lot of energy up here in north, not to warm facilities in the south part of Sweden. We need it to make sure that the mining and steel industry make sure that they can do their things for the environment totally.
Is that something that is a constraint for you today?
We haven't seen that so much yet, but we know that it takes some time to make this decision from the political side.
Okay, perfect. Then I would like to thank you very much, Peter, for coming and presenting with us here at ABG today.
Thank you.